During the Chinese New Year, to deal with my family pressuring me to get married, I borrowed my buddy's daughter. At the dinner table, the little girl was incredibly sweet, calling me daddy every other breath, and calling my parents and grandparents grandpa and grandma. Then, she suddenly turned to stare at the person next to me, my childhood sweetheart who had been quietly eating, her ears turning bright red, and asked, "Daddy, is this pretty sister Mommy?" The chopsticks in her hand froze mid-air. A moment later, she lowered her head and whispered softly, I'm Mommy, just eat your food. The little girl happily pushed her bowl over. "Mommy, feed me." My mom slammed the table. "Well, you rascal, you hid this well." The whole table started teasing us while she never once dared to look up at me, her ears red enough to drip blood. "My name is Shihao. That childhood sweetheart with the crimson ears is named Liu Ruyan, and the 5-year-old girl who sent me to the crematorium, or rather the aisle, is He Tiantian, my buddy He Chang's daughter." My internal monologue at that moment went something like this. "Liu Ruyan, are you crazy? Why did you agree? If you agreed, what am I supposed to do? Should I agree too? And if I do, does that mean we're actually—" Thinking that, I chugged a large glass of liquor to calm my nerves. But something even more terrifying was already happening. My dad put down his glass, pulled out his phone, and dialed a number in front of everyone, on speakerphone. "Old Liu!" I heard the booming voice of Liu Ruyan's dad, Liu Jiangguo, from the other end. "Old Shi, what's up? Your daughter has been managed by my son." "What? They even have a kid." "What?" There was a 2-second silence on the line. Then Liu Ruyan's mom, Liu Shufeng's voice shouted from the background, "Old Liu, what are you just standing there for? Your daughter had a kid with Shihao." Liu Ruyan and I both buried our faces in our hands. 15 minutes later, Liu Jiangguo and Liu Shufeng appeared at our dinner table. They arrived so fast, I genuinely suspected they had been squatting outside our apartment gate all holiday. The first thing Liu Shufeng did upon entering was not look at her daughter, but examine He Tiantian's face. "This child doesn't look like either of you." My mom stepped in to cover for me. "She takes after her grandma." Liu Shufeng nodded in sudden realization. "She really does take after you. Takes after your head, auntie." This lie, it was so outrageous it had started to grow legs. Tiantian was fully committed to the act. She curled up on Liu Ruyan's lap, one arm wrapped around Ruyan's neck, and the other stuffing peanuts into Ruyan's mouth. "Mommy, eat. Mommy, eat more. Grandma said Mommy is too thin." When did my mom say that? But my mom was already grinning from ear to ear, turning to Liu Shufeng and saying, "Look at this child, how close she is with Ruyan." Liu Shufeng's eyes welled up. "Our Ruyan has been good with kids since she was little." Then, the two fathers did something that made my soul leave my body. Liu Jiangguo pulled a brown envelope from his pocket and slapped it on the table. My dad pulled one out too. 2 envelopes, 2 bank books. Opened up, the account names were Shihao and Liu Ruyan Wedding Fund and Liu Ruyan and Shihao Home Fund. They started saving 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I was still in high school. 10 years ago, the extent of my relationship with Liu Ruyan was walking home together, she on the left, I on the right, with 3 people's worth of space in between us, because she said if we stood too close, our classmates would tease us. So both families had been planning this since then. I suddenly understood one thing. I thought I was the one dealing with the marriage pressure, but actually, I was the prey being hunted. My mom struck while the iron was hot, taking Liu Ruyan's hand. "Come, Ruyan, let me check your ring size." "Auntie?" Liu Ruyan finally panicked. "Call me Mom." She, Mom. Go choose the rings this weekend. You two pick the wedding date, but it has to be by this year's National Day. Your mom can't wait that long." My dad added a blade. "The car is already chosen, just waiting for you two to pick the color." Liu Jiangguo added another. "I'll pay half the down payment for the house. Your dad will pay the rest. You two don't need to worry about a thing." Surrounded on all sides. I took a deep breath, planning to make a final stand. "Mom, Dad, Uncle, Auntie, let me explain about this child." Liu Ruyan suddenly looked up at me. Just one look. Her eyes were slightly red, her lips pressed into a thin line, her chin lifted slightly. Then she said one thing, in a voice so soft I could barely hear it. "If you dare to say it out loud, I'll never talk to you again." I shut my mouth. Not because I was scared, but because when she said that, her hands under the table were gripping her own clothes so hard her knuckles were white. After the New Year, back in the city, I asked Liu Ruyan out. My plan was, fine, let's do that. The atmosphere was cold enough to freeze dumplings. I lowered my head to drink my coffee. My peripheral vision caught her milk teacup on the table. There was a sticky note on the cup. With wobbly handwriting and 3 little stick figures holding hands, it read, "Daddy and Mommy." Liu Ruyan grabbed the cup and shoved it into her bag. Tiantian drew it for me. It's not polite to throw it away. You finished your tea? Yeah. You didn't throw the cup away either? Still treasure. Did you return it to her? That note was pressed perfectly flat with plastic wrap, not a single wrinkle. She stood up. As she picked up her bag and turned, the note flipped over. On the back was another line of text, in Liu Ruyan's own handwriting. I won't say what was written. She'd kill me if I told. But that night, I tossed and turned until 3 a.m. Then I got up and messaged He-Chiang, who taught Tiantian to write those 4 words. He-King replied instantly. Asking this at 2 a.m., Ruyan told her to, said it was a gift to write the names. Shihao, is your brain finally starting to work? I didn't reply, but I pulled up the photo of the note I'd sneakily taken and looked at it over a dozen times. The next day at noon, I went to the company cafeteria for lunch. My buddy Chen Zi sat across from me, looking at me zoning out. He waved his chopsticks in front of my eyes. Shihao, where's your soul? Thinking about something. Thinking about what? A person. Chenza put down his chopsticks, his expression grave. Bro, let me tell you something. What? The whole company knows something is going on between you and Liu Ruyan. I dropped my chopsticks. Who said that? Your mom. Your mom posted the photo of you two and Tian in the family group chat over the holidays. Your third aunt forwarded it to her square dancing group. The administrative supervisor's mom is in that square dancing group. Now, everyone in the company is spreading it. They're saying you kept it a secret while secretly getting married. People even opened a betting pool. Betting on what? Betting on when you two will hold the wedding. May Day is 1 to 3 odds, National Day is 1 to 2, end of the year is 1 to 5. Who's the bookie? Zhang Tao. Zhang Tao is from our department. That deputy supervisor who leaves early every day. He's the master of slacking off at work and the champion of causing trouble. Before I even had a chance to settle scores with Zhang Tao, my phone buzzed. It was a WeChat message from my mom, an image, a selfie of her and Liu Shufang at a bridal shop. 2 ladies in their 50s posing with peace signs with a row of wedding dresses hanging behind them. The caption read, helped you pick out 3 styles, take a look. If you don't like these, Auntie will pick more this weekend. I replied, Mom, we haven't even... My mom replied instantly, haven't even what? Are you trying to make excuses about Tiantian again? I typed a paragraph, then deleted it. I typed another one and deleted it again. Finally, I sent 3 words. You handle it. My mom said, that's more like it. 3 days later, He-Chiang came to pick up Tiantian. Tiantian hugged Liu Ruyan's leg, howling and refusing to go. I'm not going! I want Mommy! He-Chiang squatted down to coax her. Tiantian, be good! Daddy is here to pick you up. You aren't Daddy. He is the real Daddy. Tiantian pointed at me. He-Chiang's face turned green. Tiantian, I've raised you for 5 years and all you do is play games. Mommy braids my hair, tells me stories, and sings me lullabies. She sang you a lullaby. He-Chiang turned to look at Liu Ruyan. Liu Ruyan looked away. She couldn't sleep, so I just hummed a couple of lines. Tiantian delivered the final blow. Mommy sings 10,000 times better than you. Your singing sounds like a fish shrieking. He-Chiang was stabbed 3 times by his own daughter. He sat on the sofa, his eyes unfocused. I didn't have time to pity her because I noticed a detail. A lollipop was peeking out of Liu Ruyan's coat pocket, strawberry flavored. Tiantian's school bag side pocket was stuffed with a whole bunch, at least 7 or 8 of them. Where did these lollipops come from? Liu Ruyan didn't change her expression. Tiantian wanted them herself. She's 5. She doesn't have Alipay, so I paid for them. This brand is only sold on that street in the south of the city, 4 subway stops away from your office. Liu Ruyan stopped talking. He-Chiang said sarcastically, Sister Ruyan, are you taking 4 subway stops to buy candy for my daughter? Closer than her own mother, huh? He-Chiang, say one more word and see what happens. But her ears turned red again. I suddenly remembered on New Year's Day when Liu Ruyan came over for dinner. My mom said she was just happening to pass by. She lives in the north of the city, I live in the south. What kind of happening to pass by requires 2 subway transfers and a 15-minute walk? Next, I did something that I still think was really asking for trouble. At a friend's gathering, I invited our company's new colleague, Xiaorong Yu. I didn't mean anything by it. I just wanted to see how Liu Ruyan would react. Fine, I admit, I did it on purpose. Xiaorong Yu is good-looking, with 2 little fangs when she smiles. She looks like she walked out of a milk tea commercial. I chatted with Xiaorong Yu the whole time, talking about work, travel, and variety shows. Liu Ruyan sat across from us, her expression as calm as water. She ate and drank as usual, and even took the initiative to add Xiaorong Yu on WeChat. Let's grab a meal sometime, I know a decent cilantro restaurant. As she left, she said, I'm heading out, working overtime tomorrow. Her tone was normal, her expression was normal. I sat there, my heart going cold. It's over, there's no chance. My phone buzzed. Keqiang, brother, you're done for. What happened? Ruyan just called me, asking who that girl next to you is, where she's from, how old she is, what she does, if she has a boyfriend, her education level, her horoscope. Her tone was extremely calm. Do you know what it means when a woman speaks that calmly? What does it mean? It means you are not far from death. The next day was even more explosive. Xiao Rongyu sent me 3 screenshots. The first one, Liu Ruyan liked her WeChat moment at 2:17 a.m., a beach selfie from 2023. Second one, Liu Ruyan scrolled back to a gym photo from 2021 at 2:30 a.m., liked it, and immediately unliked it. But Xiao Rongyu had her notifications on. The third one, the time the WeChat friend request was accepted, 4 minutes after the gathering ended. Xiao Rongyu said, "Brother Shi, is your childhood friend a stalker? She flipped through 3 years of my moments in 2 hours, faster than my mom vetting me. She even favorited that gym video of mine. And then?" She commented under my hot pot photo, "I've been here too, it's not good," at 3 a.m. A stranger at 3 a.m. running to my moments to critique a hot pot restaurant. Brother Shi, you judge for yourself, I can't think of anything else, but it only spells 4 words. She cares. That night, Chenze also messaged me, "Brother Shi, let me report something to you." What? Liu Ruyan hired someone today to ask about Xiao Rongyu's reputation at the company. Who told you that? Jiang Tao. He is currently debating whether to open a new betting pool on who you will finally choose on the 10th. Xiao Rongyu's odds are 1 to 15, Liu Ruyan's are 1 to 1.1. What does 1 to 1.1 mean? It means the whole company thinks it's impossible for you to pick anyone else. Betting on Liu Ruyan is basically giving away money, but everyone is still buying in just for charity. I said, "Tell Jiang Tao if he opens another pool, I'm sticking his performance review on the notice board." Chenze, he says you should try it. He has a photo of you and Liu Ruyan, the one your third aunt sent. Jiang Tao printed 200 copies, ready to shower guests with them on your wedding day. I hung up the phone. I took a deep breath, then went out, caught a taxi, and headed straight to Liu Ruyan's house. I arrived downstairs and called her. "Come down." "What for?" I washed my hair and didn't blow dry it. "Liu Ruyan, do you like me or not?" The other end of the line went quiet. "You're drunk." "I haven't had any alcohol, you answer me." "Shihao, stop making a scene. I told you, that day was just to play along with you." "Those lollipops you took 4 subway stops to buy, that thing Tiantian said was trained with a box of chocolates. You flipped through 3 years of Xiao Rongyu's moments at 2 a.m. You called my mom to ask what time dinner was. You taught Tiantian how to write the characters for dad and mom. You went to the milk tea shop." There was no sound on the other end of the phone at all. After half a minute, her voice came from above. She was leaning over the 3rd-floor balcony. Her hair was wet, but her eyes were panicked. "Who told you?" "Doesn't matter, you answer me." "Don't like you." "Fine, then I'm going to pursue Xiao Rongyu." "You dare! What do you care?" "Shihao, what do you mean, what do I care?" She disappeared from the balcony. I thought she'd left in a huff, and was just about to go upstairs when the unit door was slammed open from the inside. She ran down wearing pajamas and slippers. Her hair was still dripping, and her face was flushed red. She rushed to me, poking my chest with her fingertip, her eyes red already. "Shihao, are you even human?" As she said it, tears started falling. "I like you. Happy now. I've liked you since the day I moved in next door when I was 6. You've been by my side for 20 years. I hugged her tight. She punched me in the chest, but didn't push me away. "Your clothes are wet," she mumbled. "From your hair dripping." "I don't mind. If I minded you, I would have been the one dripping wet." She let out a muffled laugh in my arms, her voice laced with tears, and then she raised her foot and stepped on me. "That's the interest for making me wait 20 years. I looked down at my stepped-on foot and said, "That's a bit expensive. Hopefully it's worth it." I hadn't even had the chance to announce that we were together, but my mom already knew because Liu Shufang had witnessed the entire process from her balcony. Yes, her balcony light had been on the whole time. Liu Shufang called my mom that night, my mom called my dad, and my dad called Liu Jiangguo. The 4 of them held a video conference in a WeChat group. They had a group chat named the In-Laws Alliance, which had been created a full 10 years before Liu Ruyan and I even got together. The next morning, my mom sent a message. "Heard you knelt down downstairs last night." I didn't kneel, I was standing. "Well, you should have knelt." "Mom? Forget it, never mind you." Saturday night, the whole family ate together. Old Liu picked the place. No late arrivals allowed. On Saturday, the 6 of us sat in a Northeast-style restaurant. The atmosphere was extremely awkward. The 4 elders were beaming with joy, while Liu Ruyan and I sat in the middle like 2 suspects being interrogated. Liu Jiangguo took the lead. "Shihao, what's your salary?" I glanced at Liu Ruyan, but she was staring intensely at the menu, pretending not to hear. "Uncle, after tax..." "No need to talk about after tax, your dad already told me." "Then why the hell are you asking?" Liu Shufang chimed in, Ruyan, which pajamas were you wearing last night? I told you not to wear the one with the hole when seeing your boyfriend. Mom! Liu Ruyan's face exploded in red. There's a hole in the back. Did you see it, Shihao? I picked up my glass and chugged water. My mom took the opportunity to stab me in the back. Shihao's sweatpants are 3 years old and the knees are all pilled. I told him to change them, but he refuses. You help me manage him from now on. Shihao, call her Mom. Mom. My dad clinked glasses with Liu Jiangguo. It's done. Liu Jiangguo clinked back. It's done. It seemed the sole purpose of this dinner was to get Liu Ruyan to call my mom, Mom. With their goal achieved, the 4 elders went off to drink. I whispered to Liu Ruyan, Are you okay? She whispered back, Your mom wants me to oversee your wardrobe. So? So I have the sword of imperial authority now. 10th, you're done for. She smirked, and I knew she'd been waiting to say that for a long time. Later on, we were out eating when we ran into He Chang and his wife, Shen Yuchu. Or rather, we were coincidentally arranged to run into them. He Chang brought Tiantian along. The moment they entered, Tiantian lunged at Liu Ruyan. Mommy! The whole restaurant looked over. The waiter smiled at me and Liu Ruyan, asking, Are you a family of 3? Would you like a high chair? He Chang pointed at Tiantian. That's my daughter! The waiter looked at Tiantian, who was clinging to Liu Ruyan, then back at He Chang, and gave a knowing smile. That smile probably meant, this man is trying to snatch someone else's wife's child. He Chang had a breakdown. I didn't say anything to defend him, even though I could have produced his documents on the spot. Shen Yuchu patted him. Calm down, it looks ridiculous to pull out IDs in a restaurant. Tiantian sat on Liu Ruyan's lap the whole meal. When she finished, she used a tissue to wipe Liu Ruyan's mouth, muttering, Mommy has sauce on her mouth. He Chang was completely ignored by his own daughter. On the way back, he messaged me, Shihao, your wife stole my daughter's heart. I demand emotional damages. I replied, Is a box of chocolates enough? He sent back a middle finger. Only after we got together did I realize what a master of being stubborn she was. I'd text, I miss you. She'd reply, You're sick. I'd say, You look pretty today. She'd say, Your eyesight is bad. I bought flowers to pick her up from work, and she said, I'm allergic to pollen. Take them away. That night, I saw the bouquet in a vase on her WeChat Moments, with 9 photos and the caption, Bought them on the roadside. Just okay. Bai Ningbin commented, Who sent them? She replied, Bought them myself. Bai Ningbin. The flower shop downstairs doesn't have that variety. Liu Ruyan didn't reply. I took a screenshot and sent it to her. You said you bought them yourself? She replied instantly. Shihao, can you not send screenshots? Delete the comment and I won't screenshot. You've had enough. Say thank you, husband, and I'll be done. 10 minutes later, 4 words. Thank you, Shihao. Fine, baby steps. The funniest time was watching a horror movie. Her choice. She said, I'm never scared of ghost movies. 7 minutes in, she dumped popcorn on my head. 20 minutes in, she dug 8 nail marks into my arm. 40 minutes in, she buried her face in my shoulder, still insisting, I'm not scared. Your shoulder is just hard and comfortable. Sometimes people would find things just average. 3 seconds later, she'd say, delete that. I didn't. She sent 17 voice notes as a bombardment. The first 16 were insults, the 17th. Does your arm still hurt? Want me to buy you some ointment tomorrow? I set the 17th note as my alarm ringtone. From then on, I woke up to her scolding me every morning. It was bliss. News spread to our social circles. He Qiang created a group named Shihao and Liu Ruyan Love Observation Room and pulled in 17 people, including Chen Zhe, Jiang Tao, Bai Ningbin, and Xiao Rongyu. The group live-streamed our latest developments every day. He Qiang. Update. Shihao was stepped on again today. Chen Zhe. Update. Shihao brought Liu Ruyan the cilantro she hates for lunch and was punished by being made to stand at the office entrance for 10 minutes. Jiang Tao. Update my new betting pool. How long until Shihao proposes? 3 months, odds 1 to 4, half a year 1 to 2, a year 1 to 6. Currently, the 3-month tickets are selling best. Bai Ningbin in the group. You two aren't dating, you're torturing each other. Xiao Rongyu. It's so sweet, sweet and sour. My third aunt. You young people really know how to play. By the way, Jiang Tao, I'm buying the half-year one, 300. 6 months later, I proposed. No flowers, no candles, no band. Just downstairs at her place, right where she'd run down in her pajamas to step on my foot. I knelt on one knee holding a lollipop, strawberry-flavored. She watched me from the balcony for 10 seconds, then disappeared. I thought she was going to run down again, but she dropped something on my head. An envelope. I opened it. A note in her handwriting. Shihao says, if you dare to kneel to propose, don't blame me for being ruthless. Stand up. Tomorrow we register for marriage. The date was from 3 months ago. She had written it 3 months ago. I yelled up at the balcony, How did you know I was coming today? The clerk at the shop the day you bought the ring is Bai Ningbin's cousin. You stole 2 sheets of paper while I was sleeping last week. I was awake. You searched 47 times in the last 2 days for what is a moving marriage proposal, and you forgot to clear your search history. Shihao, you can't fool me in this lifetime. Accept your fate. I looked at the lollipop in the envelope on my forehead and laughed. Liu Ruyan? What? You have more schemes in your head than a honeycomb. Disappointed? No, just give them all to me. The balcony was quiet for 2 seconds, then came a muffled, hate you. Zhang Tao's group exploded. My third aunt sent a huge red envelope. I won 6 months. Zhang Tao, the bookie declares bankruptcy. He Chang, where's my daughter's appearance fee? On the day we registered, the civil affairs officer looked at our documents and asked the routine question, is this voluntary for both parties? I said, voluntary. Liu Ruyan said, forced. The officer froze. Liu Ruyan added, forced into voluntariness. She was too hesitant, so I had to give her a push. The officer looked at me, then at her, and silently stamped the papers. Outside, Liu Ruyan flipped through the red booklets and suddenly said, the photos are so ugly. Are you ugly or am I? You're ugly. Then why are you marrying me? Since I'm already here. I pulled her close and kissed her forehead. She tried to dodge but didn't make it. I sent our registration photo to the group. Zhang Tao replied instantly. Attention everyone, Shihao and Liu Ruyan have registered. Betting pool closed, payouts tomorrow. Also, I've opened a new pool. How long until 10th is sleeping on the washboard? 1 week, 1 to 3, 1 month, 1 to 8. Place your bets. Chenza, 1 week 500, Bai Ningbin. 3 days, 1,000. He Chang, tonight 2,000. Shen Yuchu. He Chang, that's just wishful thinking. He Chang didn't reply. The 2 months preparing for the wedding were the most chaotic of my life. Not because the wedding was complex, but because everyone was meddling. My mom and Liu Shufang teamed up and took over everything. Hotel, menu, decorations, invitations. Liu Ruyan and I were completely sidelined. Our only participation was Liu Ruyan trying on dresses. First one, Bai Ningbin said it was too plain. Second, my mom said it was too revealing. Third, Liu Shufang said it was too tight to eat. Fourth, nobody paid her any mind. The flower girl selection had no suspense. Tian spun in her little dress in front of the mirror 3 times and asked me very seriously, Dad, Uncle, do I get paid for being the flower girl? I said, yes, a box of lollipops. Tian, 2 boxes. I looked at Liu Ruyan. Liu Ruyan said, 3 boxes. Don't shortchange my girl. He Chang slapped his thigh in frustration, but nobody listened. On the wedding day, I made a fatal error in my speech. I said, thank you, He Chang, for lending me your daughter so Ruyan and I could come together. The applause was deafening. Then Bai Ningbin raised her hand. The moment she stood up, I knew disaster was coming. He couldn't keep a secret. It was part of his job as a reporter, and he'd had 3 glasses of champagne. I must correct a fact, she said with a grin. The room went silent. Shihao didn't ask He Chang to borrow the child. Ruyan had asked He Chang's wife, Shen Yuchu, to arrange it beforehand. When Shihao finally asked, He Chang was just following her plan. The price was Ruyan being a free nanny for them for a month. The room erupted. I turned to look at Liu Ruyan. I couldn't see her expression under the veil, but her hand gripping my sleeve tightened. He Chang stood up. Since he said it, I'll add to it. Shen Yuchu tugged at him, but He Chang cleared his throat. That pretty sister line Tian said was taught by Ruyan. It took 3 days and a whole box of chocolates. The first day, Tian asked, who is this sister? Ruyan said, no, not sweet enough. By the second day, she changed it to, pretty sister is mommy. My mom slammed the table in the relatives section. And I thought the happened to pass by story was real. Liu Jiangguo slapped his thigh, laughing. This girl has so many tricks up her sleeve. Liu Shufang sipped her tea. Takes after me. Zhang Tao raised his hand from the back. I'll add one too. Shihao intentionally brought Xiao Rongyu to a gathering to test Ruyan's reaction. Ruyan flipped through 3 years of her moments that night and went to comment on her hot pot photo at 3 a.m. Xiao Rongyu shouted from the side, that place really did have bad hot pot, but that's not the point. The room went wild again. I looked under the veil and heard a very soft, tearful voice. I liked you for 20 years. I waited 12 years for you to finally speak up. I really couldn't wait any longer. I lifted her veil. Her eyes were red, her lips pursed, chin slightly raised, exactly like the little girl who moved in next door 20 years ago and refused to greet me first. I kissed her. The room exploded. He Chang slammed the table. My daughter is the best supporting actress. Where's her appearance fee? Shen Yuchu pushed him down. The chocolate money was their investment. Sit down. Tian sat among the flowers, lollipop in mouth, and said to the kid next to her, that's my mommy. Really? Tiantian thought for a moment, then said very earnestly, "At first it was fake, then it became real." That night, Liu Ruyan and I sat on the hotel balcony. She'd had a little to drink and leaned on my shoulder, uncharacteristically dropping the stubborn act. "Shi Hao, when I was teaching Tiantian that line, I was so scared. Scared you'd call me out on the spot, and scared you really only saw me as a sister. Then why gamble? What else could I do? Wait for you to figure it out? You wouldn't have realized by retirement." I couldn't argue with that. "But the scariest part wasn't that," she buried her face in my shoulder. "It was the fear you'd actually find someone else. That day you brought Xiaorong Yu out." "What about that day?" "I went home and cried." "You flipped through her 3 years of moments while crying?" "I stopped crying after I finished because her moments were all work and travel, nothing to do with you. So I finished the background check through my tears." "Shut up." I hugged her tighter. "Liu Ruyan?" "Yeah?" "You don't have to be afraid anymore." She didn't speak, but she gripped my hand tight. After a while she said, "If you ever dare to bring another woman to make me jealous again." "What?" "I won't check her moments anymore. I'll ask her to her face." "Understood." Later, Chang became our son's godfather, and Tian became his big sister. When Tian first saw my son, she touched the baby's cheek. "Uncle, wait, Dad, what do I call him?" Liu Ruyan said, "Call him Uncle." Tian, "Then is this brother real or borrowed?" The whole family burst into laughter. Liu Ruyan picked Tian up. "He's real. But so are you." Tian hugged her neck. "Reflect on yourself." Chang thought for 3 seconds. Reflected. "Definitely my problem." "What problem?" "Should have asked for more chocolate. Should have asked for 2 boxes. Shen Yuchu smacked him again. Sitting on the sofa, watching the noisy, bustling room, I suddenly felt that life was good. The beginning of it all was a single sentence from a 5-year-old girl at New Year's dinner. Or more accurately, a girl who spent 20 years perfecting a script, bribing the lead actress with a box of chocolates, rushing halfway across the city to the set, and betting all her pride and dignity just to get that one line spoken. It took me half a year to understand. Some people's love is spoken. Others is like a honeycomb. Every single hole is filled with unseen charcoal fire. Liu Ruyan was the latter. Thankfully, I finally saw it, and thankfully, she never gave up. The end.